where she could just be in whatever the hell she wants. I don't give a shit.
She can
Doesn't
do.
matter.
Christina Hendricks can do whatever she wants.
Anything she wants.
Thing she wants, honey.
In fact, I insist.
I insist
that she do anything that she wants.
You know what else I insist?
What's that?
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Pixel. My name is Kevin. With me, as always, is Phil. On today's show, we are diving deeper into Silent Hill Part 2. We're going into some bottomless pits.
Oh, yeah.
We might be doing that 3 times. I don't know. Is that a metaphor for something? I don't know.
Probably.
These things happen.
Yeah.
Your wife dies and you go to the town that you guys went on vacation to, and it happens.
I don't think enough is made of the fact that Silent Hill is supposed to be a resort town. You don't think about that very much. They talk about that all the time, and it's just like, that's, you kind of have it in your head that you're like, oh, this place was always fucked and haunted, right? It's like, no.
I think so. To me, it's like, how much of a resort town is it? Is it like it's a resort town, or is it like it's a town on a lake?
Right.
It has some amenities.
Yeah. I write about I write about cities and towns and stuff like that for work, and you will be amazed at how some of these towns that have like 3,000 people and they have a board of tourism. And I have to interview people and be like, so what's that all about? And they'll be like, well, Jesse James spat in a spittoon in a saloon that's still there. And people probably pay a lot of money to come see that.
The town I grew up in, Bristol Borough, Pennsylvania. It's on the Delaware River. It has an inn that is, I'm not gonna look it up, but I think it's like the oldest continuously running inn in the United States.
Nice.
And it predates the country.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll do it.
It's one of those like from the 1600s type of places.
Yeah.
So, and it's got waterfront. Is it a resort town? No, but I can imagine you go in there if you got a brochure that said, hey, we got coupons.
Yeah. Like, hey, it's $75 a night to stay at our nicest hotel, and we got camping and stuff. And you're like, oh,
no, we don't got camping.
We don't got camping, but we got water.
We got water.
Water.
There's an island in the middle of the Delaware, near Bristol Borough, that at one point had an amusement park on it. It burned down in the 1920s, but we would point to that island and say, hey, it used to have an amusement park on it.
Was it like that? Was there like the remains of it there or something? Because that could be spooky as shit.
No,
it's
like basically the trees had retaken the islands.
Oh, sure.
It had been when I was growing up there in the late 80s, early 90s. It was like, there's just fucking pine trees over there now.
Sure.
And nobody built anything on it since.
Well, I'm gonna have to make that happen anyway. I'm gonna write about a tiny island in the middle of nowhere that has. There's just a lone abandoned Ferris wheel,
and it's
like
not like
sticking up out of the trees.
There's no bridge to the island, right? Because it's the Delaware River, which is a shipping lane. So the only way
you can't
back
put
and
a bridge
forth,
there.
You can't put a bridge, at least at the level that the island was at. You can't. It had to be a ferry back and forth.
Right.
So there's nothing there. Therefore, there's no ferry running over there. Nobody really cares to actually go over there.
Yeah.
There was a bridge to the town across the river in New Jersey, though. Burlington, which is home of the Coat Factory.
Yeah. I had a friend who worked there.
Yeah.
At the at the actual one.
Yeah, not Burlington, Vermont,
Not just-
Burlington, New Jersey.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, she worked for corporate as opposed to like your local, Burlington Coat Factory,
Where you always get a great coat.
Right. I don't think I've ever stepped foot into a Burlington Coat Factory. I don't.
I have not either, to my knowledge or awareness.
Yeah,
there's probably a shopping
I think you'd
trip.
remember. I think you'd remember.
I don't know. There's probably plenty of shopping trips being dragged around by my mom where I was only
well.
you know those shopping trips when you kind of disassociate as a kid and you're just kind of like, staring. You're like staring out the car window, counting the street lights and the telephone poles going by because you're just so bored out of your mind.
Oh yeah, I lost a lot of hours of my life to the ether, just being dragged from one damn place to the other. So yeah, I'm right there with you.
And I had a Game Gear and the batteries died in 15 minutes, so it's not like I really had.
Oh, that's tragic. Oh
yeah, it's not like the Game Boy, which was lasted a bit. It was the Game Gear, which was basically like, hey, I'm gonna fire up this toaster.
Right. It's anybody's guess. Yeah.
With my 15 AA single A batteries or something.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, the greatest thing that we got with that was the like extra chargeable battery thing that like slapped on the back of it, and like just doubled its weight, but it actually
and the magnifying glass to.
Did Game Gear have one of those too?
It sure did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I would just sit in the corner playing my Shining Force Game Gear game, and that was
my favorite game. The Sword of Hadja. Yeah. I must have beaten that game 50 times. Yeah, totally. I love that game. Fuck yeah.
So before we get to the book, I just want to tell you about a lovely website called patreon.com/pixelitpod, where you can go join one of the tiers. You can join for free or pay $1 and get the ad-free episode, $5 get the bonus episode, or $10 and get your name shouted out in every episode. And to that end, I want to thank Jesus Loves You, Kyle Seaman, Ruthless Mutter, Middle of Things, Sigma Sal, Sanguine Flatulence, new $10 level, Chet Beaks, Jamma, Thick, and Friendly Friend. Thank you so much for being a friend. Patreon.com/pixelitpod. Do it today. So, do you want to put the body in the marsh?
Let's marsh that body.
Yeah. Marsh that body, yeah.
When I tell you to dump a body in the marsh, you dump them in the marsh.
Marsh that body, yeah. We're in a section called Doppelganger, which is German for doppelganger.
Yeah. This book has an odd chapter thing going on. Like,
real weird patient structure. Patient records is the next one. Real weird structure. One of the chapters, the chapter we leave off on, has chapters within the chapter.
Yes. It just out of nowhere. None of the other chapters are like that. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's weird. So this section starts with a passage from a tourism brochure from the town of Silent Hill, which got James and Mary to visit the town years earlier. We get some backstory about how James and Mary met at a house party held by a mutual friend where they fell into a blazing love affair. On with the countdown. I realized I was going into Casey Kasem voice.
Super Casey Kasem. I loved it. I wasn't mad about it. It's good.
And then eventually Mary became ill and died. James arrives at Rosewater Park, which could be the special place. Here's the red flag with James: is he doesn't know what the special place is. He's just fucking guessing.
Yeah.
He's like, Rosewater Park, that could be the special place. They're like, oh no, James, you didn't. It was the Denny's off of Route 1.
Right. You're telling me you didn't pay any attention. Okay, great, fine,
good. Thanks, buddy.
Terrific.
So yeah, he gets rickrolled by a statue, thinking that it's a person.
Right.
And then he cries a little bit and then is thankful that the fog is blocking anyone from seeing his tears.
I think, we were all happy about that one.
He continues down into the park to a boardwalk and looking over the water and sees someone who looks exactly like Mary. But this ain't your daddy's Mary.
No.
This is Maria, and she's
Maria.
the sexy Mary.
This is your dad's Mary. Whether you wanted to admit it or not.
James tells her that Mary passed away and that she looks just like her. And Maria is like, this is not a great way to pick people up. James starts to walk away when Maria asks him if he really got a letter from his wife or is just someone messing with him. And then Mary tells him that there's been no one in the area that she's seen. James then thinks that perhaps the special place is actually the hotel that they stayed at. Maria decides to come with him to the Lakeview Hotel. They continue on down the street and get attacked by a mannequin monster. James kills it with the last of his ammo, but not before it scratches Maria, and she complains. James doesn't like Maria's complaining.
He does not. He does not. He is sick of her already.
He is
despite the fact that it's not your daddy's Mary.
Yeah. He is sick of these women and their mouths. I don't know if I'm hinting at anything
in their lives
too hard, but James might be misogynist. I don't know.
Might
if
not be.
Up.
Yeah, James might not be a good guy overall. There might be a reason he's here.
He might be a reason he's here in a town of his own guilty purgatory of his own making. What? Yeah. Spoilers? I don't know. Anyway, James gets a new weapon, an iron pipe that was sticking out of the roof of a car. They walk past the Historical Society and reach the bridge that they would need to cross to get to the hotel, but oopsie, it's partially collapsed. James finds a dead body nearby holding a map of Silent Hill, and the bowling alley is marked off. So they decide to head there since it may be important because it's got an X on it.
Yeah. And frankly, it's the only lead they've got. So.
It's the only lead they got.
Yeah.
When they arrive, Maria tells James that she will wait outside because she never liked bowling anyway. Good story,
Great.
Maria.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
There's two people talking on the inside. James recognizes one of them as the girl from earlier who runs and hides when she hears him coming. The other is Eddie. He is just housing a pizza. And
Eddie's the man we all want to be.
He's the man we all want to be. I gotta say, in the original game, Eddie's just eating pizza. Like Eddie has definitely got some like fat guy, he's there to make fun of kind of tropiness in both versions of the game. But in the original, he's eating pizza. In the remake, it's not a bowling alley, it's a movie theater. And Eddie has a gallon tub of ice cream.
So you're saying it could have been worse.
But it's melted. And he's just scooping the liquid melted ice cream up into his mouth and just going, That's the remake.
So they downplayed it a little bit, is what you're saying.
In the original, it's downplayed a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Look at this fat guy. He's eating pizza. And then Blooper Team's like, no. I don't think people get it. He's a fat man.
He's a fat guy. He's a fat fatty.
Fat fatty. Eddie the fat fatty. He drinks ice cream by the gallon.
Yeah.
And just like dribbles it all over. He's also a slob, Yeah.
So
anyway.
Fatty 2x4. Can't get through the kitchen door.
Hey. That's a good one.
I like that one.
I like that one.
That's a classic. Yeah. The classics never die.
The classics never die.
The classics never have congestive heart failure.
Yeah, you know who does die is James's wife Mary. Too soon?
Too soon? We'll find out.
James wants to ask Laura something, and while he's telling that to Eddie, Laura runs off. James asks if Eddie's going to go after her, and Eddie's like, It's a free country.
No, I don't know. It's probably not.
It's like he's like, I'm not her guardian. I met her before. I just met her before we got here off of an online site.
Right.
I mean,
which is a good point when you think about it. It's like,
how do you know her, Eddie?
Yeah, you want to expand on that a little more, Eddie?
Do we want to expand on this a little bit?
Yeah.
James runs back outside. Maria says a girl ran by, but she lost her. They run in the direction that they believe her to be running into an alley, and they go into an alley with a locked door. James is like, but Maria has the key. James thinks about how strange it is for Laura to not care about the monsters, almost like she can't see them. They enter a strip club called Heaven's Night, where Maria used to dance. James is like, that makes sense in his head. James is deep in thoughts, and Maria asks if he's imagining her up on stage, and he is.
Yes. This is, by the way, this is where it got. There were always moments of this, but this is where it got really weird with the translation, like where it started to feel a little, because we gave compliments to the translator last time. Yeah.
There's some sentences in here that are a little weird.
A little Google translating. I'm not saying it was. I don't
know if it was necessarily Google. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. It's not Google translated. I'm just saying it's like, it's translated and not 100% localized, because there's like a sentence where he's like, such a sharp-tongued woman or something like that. Which I guess maybe that's even in the game. I don't know, but it's such a weird turn of phrase. Yeah, that it's like, and it's not something that I don't think it's something James would, if we're kind of painting James into a certain corner. I'm not sure it's the thought that James would have.
Probably not something he would say. No,
is this the one that changed the color? I can't remember. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, and this is something that I've noticed with the book, is that like all of these scenes feel really brief compared to, they're just like, we're banging these scenes out. Like the Heaven's Night scene is done in like a page. Yeah. James finds a gun, and that's the main thing. And it's not the weirdness of like the comparison between Maria and Mary, and Maria is a strip club dancer and all that stuff, and how that plays into James's perception and perceptions of women and all that. It's like it's kind of there, but it's barely touched on. We're getting a lot of things just gently dabbed at,
right? Kind of just tossed in there.
Yeah, it's like when you take a slice of pizza and you dab it a little bit to get some of the grease off.
Yeah, just a little.
You just dab it and you don't really accomplish much, but you tell yourself that you did.
Yeah, you're like, this is basically health food at this point. Everything's cool. I'm gonna have twice as much because I can.
I'm gonna have twice as much because the food pyramid tells me so.
Right.
It's got meats. It's got cheeses. Wheat's a vegetable.
Yeah. I got a filet of fish. I got 3 of them with cheese. That is fish. It is good for me. I'm getting lots of omega-3 fatty acids. Yeah.
I got 3 filet of fishes, and I took 2 of the buns and I threw them away, and I just stacked up a triple filet of fish.
Cause fuck carbs,
and I put a layer of fries in between each, and I call it a filet of fish and chips.
Boom. Thank God we have the show.
I'm down 60 pounds, by the way.
Holy shit, dude. Good for you.
Just to defend my honor, I wouldn't actually make a filet of fish and chips.
I'd probably do that. I'm not going to act like I'm above that. I'm not.
I've never actually ordered the filet of fish because the concept of seafood at McDonald's just like
feels terribly, terribly wrong. My wife insists that it's pretty good.
I don't doubt it. I mean, I used to be a fish stick eater.
Yeah, of course. I can't do it. I do remember once when we went to when I was in high school and we went to Mystic Seaport, Connecticut, and the McDonald's up there had
With
a
the Mystic
McLobster.
River.
Well, yes, yeah, that's where which one of them? Tim Robbins is dead. Was he the one who did it? Doesn't matter. That was a deep cut. It doesn't matter. No, we would go up there and they would have the McLobster because you're on the coast, so it's probably a little. But nothing could have sounded less appetizing.
Tim Robbins.
Okay.
River. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, nothing could have said so. But yeah, seafood out of a McDonald's, no. I'll eat it just about any other place, though. I'll get you some fucking popcorn shrimp out of a Popeyes any day of the week. You bet your ass.
Sure. Yeah. I agree. Anyway, they go out into the street and they see Laura running towards Brookhaven Hospital. So they're like, all right, well, I guess we gotta go to the hospital. James, as they get to the hospital, we're in the chapter Patient Records now. As James thinks, why would Laura enter a place like this? As they walk in, the hospital's dim and creepy, and Maria and James walk to the second floor. James wonders why Maria hasn't even thought to ask anything about Laura. Like, why is he trying to catch this kid?
What the fuck is going on?
It's like James is like, this is weird. She's not even acknowledging my red flags. As they get up to the second floor, he notices that Maria is grabbing onto his arm tightly. Suddenly, they are nearly hit by a long metal object. It's one of them Silent Hill 2 sexy nurses. The ones with the boobs.
Thank
and
God.
the non-melted faces.
Yeah.
James has a lightsaber battle with this one, and he wonders if it might be human under there or just a monster, but what if they aren't really, etc. This goes on for a paragraph. Once he kills it off, Maria tells him he did what he had to do. James thinks that maybe the nurses and mannequins used to be women, and the armless creatures used to be men, and that killing them at this point is an act of compassion. It's right about here that Maria gets exhausted and needs to lay down because she has a cold. She lays down in room S03 and asks him what he will do if he finds Mary, and James is like, I don't know.
Why are you asking? That seems like a weird thing to say.
Why are you asking? You're being weird.
I thought you were my new girlfriend. How's this?
I thought you were my new.
This is smothering me. I can't.
Smothering me. Interesting choice of words. James wanders around, and inside one of the offices on the first floor, he finds a memo from a doctor talking about patient's mental illness. James wonders if the doctor's thoughts on how the patient was seeing an other side was talking about James himself, and that this is all a delusion. And this is a thing that is book only. James never really, as far as I remember, James never actually has these thoughts in Silent Hill. He never thinks that he's like deluded or like
interesting.
There's a doctor on the other side of this trying to communicate with him by leaving notes or something like that. So that's a book thing.
Interesting.
He gives up thinking about he gives up on thinking about this and continues searching for Laura. He goes up onto the roof, not realizing that night had fallen while they had been in the hospital, and he finds a diary from a patient that was seemingly had been cured of their illness, which gives him hope for some reason. And then Pyramid Head shows up and begins taking swings at James. James backs up into a fence, which then collapses. James falls off the edge of the roof and through the ceiling. Pyramid Head had given up on following him. He falls through the ceiling and Pyramid Head gives up on following him. James walks back through the third floor and checks in on Maria, who is asleep in the bed. He heads down to the basement and he finds the door locked. And then he goes back to the first floor and he catches wind of Laura and again and runs after her. James asks Laura how she knows Mary, and Laura tells him that she knew her from a hospital she stayed at last year, which makes James call her a liar because she died 3 years ago. Good work, James, on keeping the kid calm. He just absolutely screams at this kid.
It's this paternal. It's the paternal affection that really, really makes me attached to this character.
Yeah. Good dude. Good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Good guy, James. He tells her they have to get out of town because it's dangerous. And she counters that it's calm and boring. Laura decides to come with him, but then says she forgot a letter from Mary. She tells him that it's in a treatment room. And when he goes into the far side of the room, she locks the door.
Good for
and
her.
in my notes, I wrote cheeky little shit.
Yeah.
But,
Well
you
done.
know, the more you learn about James, you're like, no, she's handling this the right way.
She's doing great. She's doing great. Good
Good
job.
As a parent, this is everything that you could hope for. For her dealing with a dude who is stalking her.
Yeah, she's learned the lesson. Hopefully not the hard way. And we're just proud to see her thriving right now. That's all that matters.
James asks Laura to open the door, and she says, "You didn't say the magic word. You didn't say the magic word. Dennis.
God damn it! I hate this hacking crap."
Hold on to your butts. Then suddenly James is attacked by a monster that hangs from the ceiling. He pumps the monster full of lead and then passes out. When he wakes up, the hospital has changed around him, turned into the hell version of it. Worried, he goes up and checks on Maria, but she's nowhere to be seen. And then he goes downstairs. He hears someone calling out his name and calls out for Mary, but it's Maria. And this is a great moment. This is one of the best moments in the game where he goes, "Oh yeah, no, sorry, I thought you were Mary. Anyway, are you all right?" And the voice actress just does this great read of anyway.
Fair enough. It's like, yeah.
She yells at him in bed. She's like, all you care about is your dead wife.
You're so selfish.
You're so selfish. And then she's like, don't leave me again. Maria asks if he found Laura, but he's like, nah, she ran off again. Maria asks if he checked the basement, but he said, well, the door's locked, and she goes, it's open now. She just checked it. They go into the basement, and Pyramid Head is back and chasing them down. They run down the basement hallway, and James gets into an elevator, but the door closes too much behind him, causing Maria to slow down, and she gets skewered by Pyramid Head.
Hooray!
So here's the thing. Here's one of the things with the book that that is weird, because I feel like in terms of book timing, we just met Maria. Mm-hmm. We don't really have enough time with Maria to develop any sort of connection with her as a reader,
right?
As her as a character, and I think a big part of that is the fact that the book adaptation strips all of the puzzles out of the game.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, because it clicks along. So it's. I assumed when I was reading, because I haven't played this game, and I assumed that when she died, I was like, oh, I bet that was probably more effective in the game. Mm-hmm. You know, because you actually have spent some fucking time with her or something. And whereas this, it's just like, oh, she was a character that we set up to die. It's
like you've spent several hours with her versus the book. You've spent 15 minutes worth of reading with her.
Right. Exactly. You're just not that invested, you know? So,
you're not that invested. It's just a character that's just like, you know, there. So we get a brief interlude of Laura wondering where James went, and also a description of how she sees the hospital, which is bright, clean. All of everything's working. It's like literally the hospital is in perfect working order. It just there's nobody there, which is like, oh, huh, okay. Silent Hill is different to different people. What? After moping in the elevator, James is back on the first floor. He walks around and finds a map that has an X on it and a note that if he follows the map, he will find a letter. Out of the corner of his eye, he sees Laura running by outside, and he runs out of the hospital, and she's gone already. He decides to follow directions on the map, and he does the Californians thing again. And then comes across a floor made with an iron mesh and some weird monsters hanging off of it. He sprints through trying to avoid them, tripping once when they attack, but making it through. He runs into a closed down bar to avoid some of the monsters on the street and finds some writing scrawled on the wall, which reads, "If you really want to see Mary, you should just die. But you might be heading to a different place than Mary, James." Good point.
Yeah.
It's a good note.
Yeah.
It's a very good note.
Maybe take that one to heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He leaves the bar and continues running towards where the map indicates, and he finds an ordinary looking house with a letter on the front steps. Gives hints about a key and a museum. Meanwhile, Lara is skipping carefree around the town and crossing the bridge that James thought was closed.
I love that shit.
Next segment is called To the Deepest Depths. Whoa, to the deepest depths. Whoa, whoa.
To the deepest depths.
If you said goodbye to me tonight, oh, there would still be music left to write. James finds a key at the end of a statue back at the park. He heads to the museum and he begins finding pleasure in beating the monsters to death.
Sure.
He arrives at the Historical Society, and inside he finds a painting called Misty Day, Remains of the Judgment, which depicts Pyramid Head. He's not sure how the painting got there. There's a few other paintings, as well as a photo titled Toluca Prison Camp, which eventually became the prison, Toluca Prison. A lot of violence and gore he's finding in these images. He continues through the building and finds a gaping abyss in the floor, and he remembers the words that were on the map from the hospital director's office. He who fears being watched from the abyss will be unable to look into it himself. Truth can only be obtained by pressing forward. So James jumps down into the hole. He finds himself in a room surrounded by a circular brick wall and starts calling himself stupid for jumping down a literal well with no way back up. He taps on the wall with
fair enough. Yeah.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
He taps on the wall with his metal pipe until he finds a hollow spot and he begins hitting it with the pipe, leaving a passageway. He's attacked by one of the armless monsters and he begins hitting it before it runs off at the end of the canal, and he finds another hole. He jumps down that one. Drop feels longer this time, and he ends up in what seems like a cafeteria. He finds Eddie talking to himself about how easy it is to kill someone while sitting nearby a dead body. James asks Eddie if he killed the guy, and Eddie is like, "No, he made me and his dog too." And I'm just kidding. Then Eddie walks off.
He was totally making fun of me with his eyes.
Yeah.
And other not crazy things.
Yeah. Eddie walks off, and James is glad that he's leaving.
Sure. Yeah.
James wonders if Eddie is a representation of his own madness. And to this, I say, James, not everything is about you.
But yes.
He's so vain, he thinks this Silent Hill delusion is about him.
He probably thinks this hallucination is about him.
Yeah. And it's about Warren Beatty.
Yeah, obviously.
Is that right, Carly Simon? Carly Simon, fan of the show. I think she can comment.
She'd let us know. I think
she'd let us know if it was about Warren Beatty.
Yeah,
right?
of course. She's the coolest.
She's the coolest.
Yeah.
God, that song is such a catch-22, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I do remember very distinctly my little brother, when we were kids, that song came on the radio, and he just took so much issue with it because that he's like, but the song it is about him. It is about, so we're on a road trip and my 10-year-old brother is like bellowing against a Carly, like a 40-year-old Carly Simon song. Like he was not a happy camper with that one. I think he was bored. I think he needed something to do.
We should call Chris and invite him on the show just to talk
and here's the thing. I bet you he'd remember that. I bet he'd be like, yeah, it's still stupid.
Just
Like,
get
I
him
think
on
there was-
here to comment, you know?
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be ironic. I think that was no, it was stupid. It was stupid. She wrote a stupid song. And it's like, okay, all right, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
National treasure, Carly Simon. James leaves
Absolutely.
the cafeteria and finds himself inside a prison. He wonders if the photos of Toluca prison were reshaping reality around him by making an imprint on his mind. He doesn't understand logistically how he ended up down here because the path he's taken should have him underneath the lake. As he runs down the hallway past all the jail cells, and he finds a gallows, and an apparition is standing in front of him, listing charges off at him. Suddenly, the executioner appears wearing a triangular metal helmet, and he puts the noose around James's neck. James is like, yeah, fucking do it.
Yeah. Fuck it. Jesus. Yeah.
He calls out to the psychiatrist in the real world that is obviously observing him. And then instead of dying, he just starts running forward, and the noose isn't around his neck. He goes down a hallway and into a small guard room with an armory. He grabs a hunting rifle and ammunition and considers just staying in this room as it's about as safe as gets.
Sure.
He starts reading a magazine on a desk nearby, a story about boats that had sunk on Toluca Lake and the ghost stories that have been formed around that. James considers the magazine might be a message from a doctor on the outside. James, stop trying to make the doctor on the outside happening, baby.
You're obsessed, James.
Fetch is not happening.
Mhm.
And then he leaves the room, and then he finds a hole covered by a heavy iron lid and decides one more time to descend into it. And that's where we're leaving it off for tonight. Phil, what's your thoughts?
It's kind of fallen apart for me. It started out where it was like, okay, there are things that I could take issue with here, but for the translation's sake and everything, it's not so bad. But the fact that, like you pointed out, we are clipping along so fast. We've run into the issue of how do you do a puzzle with these books before, and you can just add something new. That tends to be the most effective thing to do.
Right.
You just add a little something. But we are not willing to do that when we write this, apparently. And it clips along so fast, and it's really distracting at this point, because there are moments that would be genuinely effective moments if they were given the right gravity.
Right.
There's, that's Silent Hill too. Like, it's known for, I never played the game, and I know half of these moments, the images, the creatures, because they're that iconic.
Right.
And all of their power is taken away from them. And unfortunately, this is also, as I mentioned before, where our translation starts to get kind of flimsy. It's not terrible, but you start to see the holes. Like there was the things that are like hanging from the ceiling, and the translation literally says they're hanging from the floor. And I was just doing the physics puzzle in my head about that one. And I reread it because I was like, surely
might grow
right,
up.
Yeah. I was like, surely I missed something. I did not miss anything. So it's starting to fall apart a bit.
Right.
It wasn't amazing before, but it was like, okay, all right, we can roll with this. But it's getting paper thin here. What about you? What do you think so far?
Yeah, I agree. It's like there is. Then that's why I was like initially suggested to Phil. We're like, all right, we'll just knock this out in 2 parts instead of 3 parts. But there's just they're packing way too much story into. There's like 100 pages of story packed into 40 pages. Is the way I'll put it. Is like it is just jammed in there. It's like, the ramrod of a cannon just going in there, in and out,
stuffed in and out, pounding it. Yeah.
So like that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is I was like, all right, it needs 3 episodes, not for any good reason, It's just there's too many beats now. There's too many beats happening at once.
There's too much to talk about with it. Yeah.
There's too much to talk about in like how it compares to the game and all that. So
yeah.
That's where we're at.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Phil, I have a question for you.
Please.
What are you playing?
Well, actually, I'm not playing much all that different. I haven't played anything new. I have really been bare knuckle boxing my way through Rogue Trader lately. I hit I hit the point where the scissors glide through the wrapping paper. And and so I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and every time, I think the insidious thing about Rogue Trader is that, unlike a lot of role-playing games I've played before, where the side quests, you can take them or leave them, and I will frequently get distracted by them. That's just how I play these games.
Sure.
Unlike you, the side quests find you. 9 times out of 10 in this game. So it's like you kind of have to do a lot of them.
You'll just be jumping from one system to another. And, Voxmaster Vigdis, who I would say needs to be romanceable. I think the fact that she is not romanceable is like kind of a bummer.
She's pretty great.
She's pretty great.
You could do a lot with that. Yeah,
you could do a lot with that. But
anyway,
anyway,
better to have a girlfriend that you come back to on the ship, not one that you have to. Yeah,
they have to take with you out on the field.
Hey, baby, you'll never believe what happened. That sounds way better.
Yeah, and she doesn't like leaving the ship anyway. She's a Voidborn. So,
yeah, of course.
But anyway, almost all of the side quests, or a lot of the side quests, are like you jump from one system to another, and you get a little ping from Vigdis going, hey, there's somebody who's like running towards you and needs to talk to you. I'm sorry.
yeah. Like I'm so close to being done with the second act. And I'm like at one side of the freaking galaxy, and I like look down, and I have 7 or 8 warp jumps I have to do to get back to the next one. And I'm like, oh God, this is going to take 3 hours. Like this is, and it's always interesting. It's interesting. And the side quests are pretty cool. This game is beautifully written and executed. It's awesome. It's just that you get to a point where you're like, I really just want to get to the next chapter. Like I want to get along. And it's kind of its greatest triumph and its downfall. Where it's just like you have to fucking do a lot of this stuff, whether you want to or not. Or if not, if you don't want to do it, you're still going to be interrupted like crazy over it. And if you're like really psyched to find out this next thing, you have to kind of bite your tongue and just kind of shamble through that.
Now you can decrease the number of they're basically random encounters by using the navigator's insight to make the jumps safer.
Yes.
That goes from like basically random encounters every jump to like real deal big fatty boom batty side quests. Because the random encounters are always going to be like, hey, this deck everybody turned into a chaos spawn. How are we going to do that? And you'll give like 3 options. If you're hurting for XP, you could be like, I'm going down there myself.
I'll take care of it. Yeah.
Or there will be like, arm this other deck and send them. Or it's just like, the third option is just like, just vent it.
Just fucking out the airlock.
Blow the airlock.
It's a ship the size of a city. Out the airlock. It's fine. Come on.
At the airlock they go. Especially for you on Dogmatic. It's got to be a lot easier to just.
I tell you. There is so much shit going on that I hesitate to admit, but it's true that I a lot of like storyline stuff, I'm just going, okay. Like some of it I'm just getting through. The characters I'm invested in, I'm taking more time with and that sort of thing. But it's Dogmatic does. We clip along. We clip along
with Dogmatic.
Why are we even arguing? It's a Xenos. Kill it. Like it made me realize. I was like, oh, this is why people are religious fanatics. This is so much easier.
You can just, it's so much easier.
Oh my gosh. I'll just kill everybody who isn't me. Then I'll get to see the end credits. That's all. That's all it needs to be.
Just imagine, like, every time, like, you have an Irliet mission, you don't.
Yeah.
She ain't there.
No.
Even though she is,
and I don't, because she ain't there.
She is. I will say she is a very good sniper. But
yeah. Oh, sure. I bet she is. Yeah,
she's a very good sniper using Eldari sniper rifles.
Yeah. I got to use her right up until the very end. I used her help
with Janice.
And to get rid of the other Eldari, and then I was like, guess what? Bye. And that was done.
Like, Heinrichs, and he's like, yeah.
Oh, dude, Heinrich's so mad at me. How do you play
Dogmatic and get Heinrichs mad at you?
He got mad. Because I guess I'm playing like a buffoon in a way. We got to the end of his side quest, his personalized quest, and it was like this computer, like a cogitator on the ship that had been like possessed by chaos or something like that. And I thought I was doing right, and maybe a Dogmatic person would agree. But I just was like, fuck that. I can't have this on my ship, and I blew it up. And he got so mad, and I failed the quest because the whole idea is he wanted to be able to because him and his agents had been working on it for like years, and I just went and like pulled the plug on it and just.
That's the thing with the Inquisition is like they're like 95% dogmatic and 5% heretical. Like,
yeah.
They gotta study that shit. Like
exactly.
It's like if he's like, I have to look at it, don't do anything, you fucking idiot.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And he even says something like, I thought we were on the same page, but I see now that we're not really on the same page with this shit. And it's pretty good because it does make me think, if you get a chance, if you want something nice and beefy, get the Eisenhorn trilogy.
Sure.
Dan Abnett wrote.
Is that an Inquisition story?
Yes. Eisenhorn is like the Inquisitor. And over the course of the trilogy, he's finding himself having to kind of like relax his code and stuff like that for the sake of what he's trying to do. Because you're right, like the closer you get into it, you have to study it, and studying it, as anybody who's read the Bible knows, is a surefire way to make you go, wait.
Studying it is heresy, as what's his name on the 700 Club would say about Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
It's not how close I can get to it; it's how far away I can be from it.
Exactly. It's that kind of shit. It's a nice trilogy.
So you haven't gotten back to. So let me guess. You finished Kiavagama. And now you got to get back to Dargonis for your ascension to rogue traderdom or something.
I think, yeah. Oh, I think so. I don't honestly remember.
Yeah, there's a few. So yeah, there's not cutscenes. There's a few things. If you're interested in having a bunch of navigator insight, when they ask you who wants to stand with you at the thing, have Cassia stand up there with you.
Right.
And if Cassia stands up there with you, you're gifted 50 navigator insight.
Oh, nice.
So that's a one way to do some shortcuts later.
That's very helpful. Yeah.
Oh, I can just plot a route all the way across the galaxy,
Yeah,
the sector
yeah.
to this next spot for
That's
three.
worth
Yeah, it's like you use 2 to plot it and 3 to make it not deadly or something like that.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I have been really working on my girl, my blood spinner though. And I've been going to like a lot of her rituals and shit.
Sure,
it's very
did you
sexy.
kiss?
Yeah. And then let's see what else cool happened. We stamped out a Gene Stealer cult that was in my crypts. That was awesome.
God, yeah.
And then we went to the source and blew it the fuck up in a really kick-ass naval. I love the naval battles. It is so much fun.
The Gene Stealer. Oh yeah, that naval battle is pretty awesome.
But you've got a freaking like fortress firing at you. That was some cool shit. That was fun. I really enjoyed that fight. And I got is it Jay? I got to the end of her thing. We got all her seals and stuff, and waited in line for at my count 30 hours.
It's amazing how you are a rogue trader and you still have no power to skip the line. Like one of your options
funny.
At one point is to just start shooting people.
Right. I never did that. My favorite thing that I did to pass the time was getting Argenta to distract the crowd with a sermon.
Yes.
That was funny as shit. That was like some serious Hitchhiker's Guide style stuff. Like that was really funny. I really appreciated that. It was a really good moment of levity in the game. So I've got one last
Jay's
thing.
side quest is it's so dumb, but also one of my favorite things.
It's worth it in the end. You could get to a point where you're like, Jesus Christ, I'm just going all over to get these different seals. But as far as climaxes are concerned, that one was pretty great. I really enjoyed that one.
Hey yo.
Yay. I've just got to get my fucking I got to get to the other side of the galaxy and wrap up this chapter.
Yep.
But it's clipping along. Otherwise, it is still.
And you have
so
to.
Good.
I think you have to finish at least before you get too far into chapter 3. Mm-hmm. You do have to finish Solomorn's thing on Thessera.
Okay.
And it was nice. There is actually a moment where a little moment where his thing pops up in the middle of a jump where he warns you hey, if you don't do this, I leave. It's unless you do it or he just is no longer a companion. So it's kind of like a decision point at that point.
I see. No, I mean, that's another thing I really appreciate with this game. They give you there's so many role-playing games out there that kind of they'll give you 3 different ways to complete the quest, but you will complete the quest ultimately. Right. This game is not afraid to go, you fucked that one up. That one, that didn't work out for you. That's and now it's over. You're not going to get failed. To right. Yeah. You can't backtrack. I respect that. I think that's.
You failed part 7 of 50. You lost 43 quests.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, wow. I respect that. I really do. And it's no great loss because I just looked at the season 2, the second, the season 2 pack, and what's involved in chapters 3 and 4, how it's going to be a total of 30 more hours of storyline. I was like, and that's next year. It's like, okay, great. I've got to have plenty of shit to do before Dark Heresy comes out from the looks of things.
Right.
But that's the biggest advantage to these CRPGs because they don't flood the game with a lot of tat that doesn't make much of a difference. You are given so much to do. There's so it's a far more cerebral experience than a lot of modern role-playing games where it's just really thoughtful, really well written, it just requires a level of patience that I think a lot of modern games just don't have.
Don't have. By the way, DLC 3 is called the Infinite Musalon, and it's delve into a secret vault curated by Trazen the Infinite himself.
Oh shit! Okay, that's cool. That's cool as shit. I was just reading about him.
The top comment is Trazen the Infinite, the sassiest Necron in existence.
It's I tell you what, and I'm not the only person who has said this. The Necrons held no interest to me. Until some of the more recent stuff. I just finished The Fall of Cadia, and a major like C plot point is these Necron historians watching all this shit go down and like collecting things for their museum, and it's awesome. It gives them such interesting personality and stuff. And I was like suddenly like, oh, I kind of like Necrons. That's pretty cool.
When you're immortal, the like everything that you do is just like, well, better write down the history.
I love it. I fucking love it. There was something I don't remember though. There was something with the Dark Heresy thing coming out that suggested that the Night Lords are going to play some part in it, and I'm excited. That's like one of my favorite Chaos chapters. I just finished the Night Lords trilogy a month or so ago. That is some fucking excellent writing. That ruled.
Yeah. And the final DLC is Venture into the Processional, a massive otherworldly graveyard of ships lost to the void.
Yeah.
What begins as a search for riches turns into a descent into the unknown. It feels like it's one of those things where you start the DLC and it's like, all right, well, you're here, fucker. Find your way out. It's
its own little oubliette of a thing. Yeah, that could be anything. They might do some space Hulk stuff. They do that in the main game, but
they do say that in the main game. There's the one. There's the one space Hulk that you fight. You get onto early on. Yeah. With the all those fucking Adeptus Mechanicus guys.
The
corrupted guys.
The Heretic.
The Heretic.
Yeah,
they ends with fighting a what's it? What are they called? The Beast. The
Hellbrute.
No. It was a demon engine. Or
yeah.
I
love that shit.
That was a skill check early on in the game.
Yeah. No, that's just sick. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I'm still chipping away at The King is Watching. Okay. Really enjoying that. Picked up a clicker called The Count of Monte Clicker, which is like a name. It's a clicker, but it literally you progress through the story of Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, that's amazing.
Through the clicker. And it's just so clever and actually interesting take on kind of a tired genre. So I'm really interested in seeing how that goes. But yeah, that's honestly been I'm reading a really good book that I want to recommend to everybody. The Strange by Nathan Ballingrud. It came out a couple of years ago. He is probably one of the most influential authors for me right now. Like, his shit makes me want to write. It makes me want to be a better writer. And he normally does
horror. Be a better man.
Exactly. Yeah. And he normally does horror, but this is a kind of a sci-fi Western sort of thing. It's almost like True Grit on Mars.
That
really
sounds right the fuck up my alley.
I think you'd like it a lot. It's got some real pulpy elements to it.
Does it have a guy named LaBeef?
No LaBeef. I do not know this man. But it's got a sassy teenage girl who's out for revenge based around her dad. So it gives you a lot there. I highly recommend it. It's really, really, really good. And awesome. I'm lucky enough to have met Mr. Ballingrud, and he has never disappointed me with his writing. So, and this is no different. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Anyway, The Strange. So what about you, Kevin? What are you playing?
So I'm also, still playing Rogue Trader. We don't have to get into it too much because we just talked about Rogue Trader for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in Act 3 now. And Act 3, the Act 3 is kind of like a let's call it a bottle episode. So it and a lot of it changes depending on who you bring with you. So I decided to bring Solomorn with me just because, his DLC just came out and I wanted to see how things played out with him in Act 3. But yeah, no, I'm in Act 3 now. And otherwise, the only other thing I've been playing, Vampire Survivors again on my Switch, my Steam Deck.
Nice.
And I just played a really short game. It's $5. It only takes about a half hour to play. But it's really neat. It's called The Dark Queen of Mortholm. So it's a very simple game. You are a final boss in a game, and you're just sitting on a throne. And an adventurer comes and tries to kill you, and then you go back to the throne, and the guy comes back again. And it's like this dialogue keeps you keep talking with the adventurer about the nature of immortality and all that stuff. And the adventurer is talking about overcoming your obstacles. And it has some really neat little things to say about trying and trying again. Because the idea is even though it's in 2-bit pixel graphics or 2D pixel graphics, it's very much in the vein of oh, you're clearly a Dark Souls style boss.
Yes.
And he's just trying to overcome the difficulty of, and he'll make the adventurer will come back and he'll make comments about if you kill him one way, he's I gotta remember that your dash goes this far or whatever. So it's you're listening to a Dark Souls player talking to themselves about how to beat you. And in the beginning, it's oh, it's so easy to beat this little dude. But as you keep fighting him and keep fighting him and keep fighting him, it's you're having more and more difficulty, and it dawns on your character that your defeat is inevitable because of how much this little dude is improving from fight to fight to fight to fight. And he's also, he's finding other he's finding new weapons and things like that. So it's a cute game. $5. It's $5. Only takes a half hour to beat. But which, I mean, I don't know if you care a lot about price per hour or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know. I felt fine paying it because I thought it's cute. It's got
That's
a lot
a really
of,
interesting idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like it.
Nice.
The Dark Queen of
that looks
Mortholm.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll do it for tonight's episode. If you want, go ahead and follow us on Instagram and TikTok and Blue Sky. Pixelit Pod is where you can find us on all those things. Once again, patreon.com/pixelitpod. Great website. Wonderful website to visit. Phil, quick question. There is a void in the universe in the corner of my office. It's just out of camera. You can't really see it.
Okay.
But it's a small, it's like a little pinhole, but you can tell that it is absolute nothingness. Yeah. And so I don't know, do I just okay it with a Tupperware or something? Make sure nothing gets into it.
Yeah, personally, I've never had to deal with that sort of thing.
Okay.
But I can tell you, I mean, it's totally relevant. I was just reading about this. You just have to remember what Orson Welles said about the void. Interestingly enough, it has a lot to do with Subway, like the food chain. And he said that the void is like my foot-long Subway sandwich. They both